Welcome to Northstowe, and the young people just cycling past want me to tell you that this place is great. Now, my name is Beth, and I moved to this healthy new town being built on the edge of Cambridge back in 2018 when there were just 150 houses. And today, in autumn 2020, we have 650 occupied houses, with that number growing by the week. But the story behind the churches in Northstowe goes back much further. For at least 10 years before any ground was broken, local Christians and representatives from various denominations were praying and dreaming about what might come. Two of the most significant things at that stage were the decision to open the first primary school as a Church of England school, and the other was to buy a house for me in the first development, complete with a double garage. Now, the school opened with 11 children in 2017, and Reverends Peter Wood and Alex Hughes, on behalf of the Anglican Diocese of Ely, well, they worked to build a relationship with the staff, children and families. And Alex gathered a few families from the school who were interested in exploring what church in a new town might look like. Those already embedded in churches elsewhere offered their prayers, but two families who had no current connection to church, and in response to the big questions about life that a move to a rootless new town were throwing up, well, they were up for an adventure with a spiritual foundation. And so that's where we started. Adding my own family to make just 10 adults and children, we started meeting and asking what God might be calling us to be and do in this new town. And we identified three things: praying, exploring and sharing. But what does that look like? Well, it means that we get stuck in, right here among the dust and the noise and the constant changes of Newtown life. It means we regularly prayer walk the streets, and wow, we notice that God is at work when we've been prayer walking. And we prioritise exploring different ways of praying, digging into the riches of all the Christian traditions that are coming together in this place. Now, at first, Northstowe had no community buildings at all, so we opened up the double garage here at Church House. We partnered with the local house builders and local residents to run an autumn craft drop-in for All Hallows Eve, exploring the symbolism of darkness and light. We ran a pop-up bacon butty stall during a developer's consultation, and we helped put up the first Christmas tree and put it back up again when it blew down. Whoops. We started new traditions involving carols on the green at Christmas and a campfire communion at dawn on Easter morning. We hosted Northstowe's first sustainability day and started a regular litter pick. And then when the spare wing of the school was open to the public, we helped run community events, partnering with and listening to those that we encountered. And these led to a weekly after-school drop-in offering toast and Just Dance competitions on Xbox. We love being able to live out our faith to make a tangible difference. But most of all, these things built real relationships where big questions could be asked. Now, not long after the first party in the garage, someone said, "I just need some chicken soup for the soul, some space to stop, reflect and find some peace." And so Chicken Soup for the Soul was born, where we bring together contemporary reflections using Rob Bell's Pneuma videos, silent meditation, and where we end with the beautiful ancient poetry of the monastic service of completion, Compline or night prayer. And I think some of the most significant God at work moments have happened in that simple monthly praying space. The deep poetic prayerfulness of that is, I suppose, at one end of the spectrum of what we do. And while it's absolutely key to our identity, I don't think it's what people would think of first when they hear us mentioned. You see, our Sunday gatherings look completely different. Of course, contemporary life being what it is, then even before the pandemic, most people didn't come to church every week. So we're typically about 30 each Sunday before lockdown. But when we meet, those principles of praying, exploring and sharing come to the fore. We are a Church of England church with an inclusive ecumenical welcome, deliberately drawing on URC, Methodist, Baptist and other traditions to shape our liturgies and practice. So we're delighted by the prospect of an even closer partnership emerging with URC. Pre-COVID, our style was to gather around tables with craft materials, accessible language Bibles, mugs of tea, and plenty of challenging, going deeper articles and commentaries all mixed in together. We love asking questions of each other and learning from each other's stories. And whether it's through our community engagement, our reflective or active prayer focus, or our rather different looking Sunday gatherings, we've been praying, exploring and sharing. And through this praying, exploring and sharing, we've seen God touch lives. And we've celebrated baptisms. So I want to share with you this joyous scene from our first adult baptism before offering you the closing blessing, which we've used almost every week for the last 2 years.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yay!